You have reached the editing and revising stage, the final step. So after you write your draft, follow these steps. Print out your draft and read it out loud at least twice. Okay, you will catch so many errors by rereading it in print after you've written it, even if you could take a break, 15 minutes, an hour, a day. In between writing it and editing it, you will catch many more errors. Make sure you read it out loud to yourself or someone else, like actually do this, and you will correct a lot of errors, I promise you. Okay, here is your checklist. Double check your whole research paper. Make sure you have a full heading in the top left-hand corner and it's double spaced, and we'll look at an example of that. A creative title that reflects what you are writing about. It's centered, the same size text as the rest of the paper. You've indented the first lines in all of your paragraphs. You use that tab key to indent each time, and that you have at least 6 sentences for your body paragraphs. Your opening and conclusion may be a little shorter, usually 4 to 5 sentences. All of the components for every specific paragraph are there. Specific components for the opening, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. And the Works Cited page. The format that's formatted the same as the MLA model example, and you'll see that example in just a moment. And that you have in-text citations throughout the paper at the end of any information you took from research source. Okay, so you can put it in quotes or paraphrase it, but make sure you've given credit to those sources. Okay, here is an example of what your paper should look like at first glance. You have these examples also within the course materials, so you can examine this in more depth. Okay, make sure you do those in-text citations, whether it's a direct quote or a paraphrase. You've given the author's name there at the beginning of the quote, or in parentheses at the end. If there's a page number, you have that there as highlighted by those blue arrows. Okay. Make sure that your in-text citations link directly to that Works Cited page, as you can see by those yellow arrows. And again, you have these example documents available for you. Okay, so in reviewing important parts of your research paper, make sure you have an introduction with a hook. You have some background information for your reader to become familiar with the subject, and then that thesis statement. Okay, within your body paragraphs, you have multiple body paragraphs. You have a good topic sentence. You have quotes in each body paragraph from your sources. You explain those quotes, elaborate on those quotes. How do those quotes support your ideas? Why do they matter? Why did you choose them? And then a concluding sentence within your body paragraph. You can always pause on this slide and make sure your body paragraphs follow this format. And then you will write a concluding body or a concluding paragraph. So you'll restate your thesis in a way that is different than how you approached your introduction, so you don't sound robotic, bringing it to a closure, summarizing your main points. A great way to do this, as you see in number 3 there, bolded, looking into the future, leave the reader thinking about what's going to happen with that particular topic. Okay, so there's a few more details there for you on that conclusion, having that closing sentence at the end that leaves the reader thinking about the future. Okay, and lastly, you have some examples available to you within those course announcements that you can use to make sure you've covered all of the right parts of your paper and that you have it in the correct format. Please contact me for help if needed.